Aztec Safety is #1 for online safety training.
Aztec Safety is the proud sponsor of the Aztec Safety Challenge, the #1 event on the World Curling Tour.
And Aztec Safety has been a proud sponsor of Team Jacobs on our quest to represent Canada at the Olympic Games.
A very pleasant good evening, curling fans, and welcome to the Martensville Curling Club. It's the semifinals of the women's event of the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2, brought to you live on Curling Stadium. We have this matchup between Christina Black throwing the red stones and Kaitlyn Laws throwing the yellow stones. Laws will have hammer here in the first end. That's that last rock advantage. My name is Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Sean Joyce. Connor Sims is on our production, and we are so happy to have all of you here with us. So, Sean, one heck of a weekend, and this is the last draw of our coverage here.
Last draw of our coverage for the finals. They move on over to Merlis Belcher, home of the Tier 1 Grand Slam, and that'll be on the
Rock
Slam channel. Rock channel, that's what they call it. Okay.
Yep, the Rock channel, yep. We've been very happy to be able to bring you the action all week, as we do many, many weeks. So if you haven't subscribed to us yet, please do. Lots of great action available on Curling Zone and Curling Stadium many weeks of the season. So see the center guard up, and Laws comes around. Black's going to draw down to it, and away we go. And you had mentioned something before we went on the air, Sean, that in the quarterfinals, all the top seeds actually lost.
Yeah, these two teams, well, these four teams actually playing on the women, all ended up at 2-2. Three of the teams, by virtue of having a shootout loss, had 7 points, and the DuPont team was a straight 6 points for two normal victories. And all the higher seeded teams lost. They would have had hammer in the quarterfinals, and all lost in the quarterfinals earlier today. I don't know if that should feel foreboding for Laws. Maybe she doesn't want the hammer in the first end. Didn't work for anybody earlier today on the women's side.
So here's Kristen McCush, the lead for Team Laws.
Didn't get right down to the corner freeze, so it gives Marley Powers a chance to come down, get the corner freeze on the other side of the shot stone. They'd have it kind of surrounded. I was doing one of their games earlier on this weekend, and it occurred to me that Marley Powers, that really should be her Avengers name.
How so?
It just sounds like she should be an Avenger. Marley Powers. She should curl with a cape. A little too much power on that one.
My vice skip on Tuesday night, I call her Mighty Mouse. She can throw a 6-second peel and lean on the broom like nobody else. All that in a 5-foot package at best.
They had to wait on the line on that one. Did they still get it deep enough? No, they kind of lost that a little bit waiting on the line. I mean, it's not a bad spot where it is, but I think black's tapping up the red on the other side. If you get that one right in, it's almost at the point now where, you know, and we're looking at that both ways. The next time somebody makes something really good, the opposition might have to try to clean things up here just to have a way in.
Come right on down. Tap it up. They are still gunned up on that lost stone in the back.
Yeah, and here comes the cleanup attempt.
Clean up on aisle 4.
Looks like they're just playing a straight peel here. Don't know if they gave any thought to it. Like, if you could have run that the other way, you could have clipped the yellow at the top of the 12-foot into the red that was just thrown and at least, you know, taken away that queued up angle. Looks like they're just trying to tap this up just enough to be shot. You could throw a couple of feet more weight. You move the yellow back. You could be sitting at least 2. The angles look to me like they're always all going to favor the black team right now. Till you change this one. Yeah, that changed it too much too. I think yellow touches that top 4-foot red.
Let's see him coming down and take a look at this one.
I'm not sure about this. So she's going after the middle red of the 3 that are in a line. She's going to try to hit it, and it's going to come across. It's going to move at least one yellow, might move both of them. But if it ever clips that red behind it, it's coming right into the shot stone. The 2 yellows to me look like they touched the red. If they touched the red, that breaks the lineup. And it would get you another stone into the 4-foot. I'll have to see how they settle after this, but this could go all kinds of wrong.
Well, right through the middle it goes. I don't think that helped too much.
No. It's put more separation between the 2 reds, but I mean, they're still on the same angle. And now you've messed up the yellow angle. It was, you know, for a moment, it was better.
So you see brothers and Everest coming down to have a little chat about this.
Yeah, I'm not seeing hitting it. You guarding it, maybe. I'm not sure you need to, but like I don't see anything good coming out of hitting that. If you're black, it's just going to jam onto the red one, and you're probably leaving the other yellow corner frozen on your own rock. So playing the freeze, they take that shot away from the Laws team for now.
So way out wide. Looking for that guard. And looking to peel that off.
Yeah, the angle of the house still goes towards that red at the side of the forefoot, and you know, there's also the old adage that, well, if the other team wants the guard there, then maybe we should peel it. There's a chance they put it back, and then you don't have to make your move into the house until one stone later. You'd have to be real careful if they make the guard, though. I don't think you can peel it again, because they're not going to throw it another time. They're going to double tap the reds up, and you're going to be in danger of giving up a steal. Now, as to what you counter that with, I'm not just all too sure yet. It might depend on where the guard is.
So first and 2 on the way from black.
Looks like tighter line early. Well, you could probably get to it with the in-turn to double tap. You could also probably chisel from the out-turn and just move one of your yellows in, the tighter one. I think it's a better result if you move it in straight sideways, because that double tap would be blocked then. Well, if you were really greedy here, and, you know, we're just speculating on where you'd like this to be, so let's be really greedy. If she could put this directly in line, so you've got that red tap, if you could put it in between the two reds in the forefoot so that when you tap the one at the top, it's going to jam on the one at the back, I mean, that's probably perfect. I don't see how she stops you from getting at least 2 if you make that.
So Kaitlyn Laws with her first stone of the opener.
And this is over curling that. You tap the top one, you're liable to put the red stone into the forefoot. I don't think she's got anything on the outturn side if you don't throw. So,
don't you play the red?
I don't see why you don't. Like, she's worried about a shot that I'm not sure is even there. And And if you make the red, this shot doesn't score. So really risky to even try that, because if you clip it onto the yellow, you push the red up and you could give up a steal. Yeah, they're worried about a really hard shot that's probably not going to get played. So they're going to throw a guard out here, and Kaitlyn Laws is going to draw to the side of the button on the other side, which is a much easier shot than this.
So Christina Black, with her last of the first.
Law's already on her way down to the other end to throw the in-turn draw.
Berman is down for the draw.
Just don't understand that. She's got two ways in. You can't take both of them away. And on top of that, you guard the harder shot. Like, she was never playing that.
I still don't know why you didn't play the red, but that's
well, that's the other thing. I mean, if she's got two ways in, you can't guard both of them. Well, then maybe you better find a way to get in there first. But if you're going to guard one, you don't guard the harder shot.
Final stone of the first. Kaitlyn Laws sits one. She's looking for two. McCushion Peterman on the brush. Pass the top one. Does it have enough gusto? Yes, it does. Put two on the board for yellow. Laws leads by 2. Black adds a hammer when we return on Curling Stadium.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbeck coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
And welcome back to Martensville. It's the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2, brought to you live on Curling Stadium. It was a deuce for Kaitlyn Laws, first time seeing the hammer for Christina Black.
As we came back from the commercial, you could just see that Yellowstone coming very close to the rings. You could get the sense that on the one hand, they wanted to sweep it to make sure they got the center line, to put it in the no-tick zone, but they didn't dare put it in the rings. It got to the center line by the looks of it, and it did stop outside.
And we were talking through the break, and there's some comments in the conversation. Was there any downside to Black not tapping those reds up?
Well, I mean, the issue was, and I talked about it, like it surprised me that it seemed odd, and she didn't even consider any other shot. She's guarding. Laws had two ways in. She had the double tap, which was murderously tough, or the in-turn draw that she was probably always playing. She's got two ways in. You can't guard both of them. But you had the double tap, and if you make the double tap, neither one of them matters. Neither one of the ways in matters. If you can't guard both of them, you probably should be playing the double tap. If you don't want to play the double tap, I'm not sure why you guard the harder of the two options. Again, she was never playing it. The rock was barely out of Christina Black's hands, and Laws was already down on their way down to the other end to play the in-turn draw. She's never had any intention of playing that double tap. You could have thrown that rock in the back corner. She was still throwing that draw. You can kind of see, didn't get quite the curl there, but you can see why it's so important to get those rocks to the center line on those center guards. It's not that you're worried about the opposition necessarily even playing the tick. One of the, and I've talked about it on the air before, one of the unintended consequences of having the no tick zone is it means when you have to start playing shots around the guard like this, you have to play them with a little bit more precision. So for Black on that last one, she can't tight ice it because she can't take the chance of rubbing the guard on the way by. If she moves it off the line, she loses her stone and the guard goes back. So because she had to make sure she didn't rub the guard, she hits it a little thin, pops out into the open, and it gives the Laws team a chance to play that stone through. I think that was one of the biggest benefits to the no tick zone. It's not that it just took away the tick shots. It means that when you start playing those come around taps that we used to play all the time, there's every skip in the world will tell you, well, we'll just tight ice it, and if we crash the guard on the way by, then we move the guard. We can't do that anymore. Those come arounds with the lead stones, they have to be played with precision.
This one has a way to go. Can I catch a piece? Does it have enough gusto to clear it out? Just. Shooter goes away as well, though. So leaves Team Laws in command.
Yeah, they're going to go around first. They also could have opted to peel the guard. The problem is it's hard to peel the guard without disturbing the situation in the center. The corner guard. That's the one they'd peel if they were electing to peel.
I like this choice by Negavan.
Yeah, well, hard to peel the corner guard. Like if you're peeling it from the inside out, your shooter's going to come across and move your center guard. You don't want to do that. And if you peel it the other way, you're risking driving it onto the stone at the back of the forefoot. This is still, you get something on top of the forefoot behind your own guard. You've got, Black has to do some work to create some space.
And here is the space creating initiative 1.0.
Yeah, there's the chance you could get them all, but you get them all, then Law's team probably peels the corner guard, and you could be looking at a blank.
Does Powers have the power? 1, 2, 3, it jams and rolls underneath cover.
And stays behind. Yeah, that's a little bit unlucky.
A little bit? I'd argue a lot, buddy. I guess the biggest benefit is the center's open and you always have a path to the forefoot now.
Mm-hmm. The yellow is behind the tee line. Mind you, if you're going to try to get one in front of the tee line and cut your path off to that stone here.
So here's Slian Negavan. They know the weight's there. The line's not bad either. Probably a skosh heavier than they would have liked, but not bad. Sean thinks it's bad.
Well, it depends. I'm a little surprised they're playing this run. I thought she'd corner freeze it.
Well, I am as colored surprised as you are there, sir. So Jill Brothers on the run back. Double attempt. It's just going to peel and leave the house.
Yeah, and the setup is not as good now for the Laws team. I think the corner guard's gone. Yeah.
And force Team Black to exercise their blank and flip the hammer to the wrong end, so to speak.
There's still some work to do to get to a blank. I mean, you can make the double on the yellows right now, but you'd have to lose your shooter. So they're probably going to try to hit it on the nose. Laws is going to try to roll this one into the rings.
So Negavan shot. It hits. Lots of energy. That's not long for the house.
That's fine. They're not going to take a chance at hitting it too thick. Tough to make the double here, so you got to try to hit it right on the nose and stay in front of the yellow. Now, yellow's probably shot rock when you do that. But I don't think Laws will ignore it. She's probably going to try to pick it out, and then, yeah, you're headed for that blank you were talking about. And we haven't talked about it yet during this draw, but each team only allowed one blank per game in this format. If you blank a second one, you'll lose the hammer. And I know that on the men's side for sure, there were two games that I saw. We've talked about this last game too. If you can force your opposition to use their blank early in the game, I saw two games this week where a team took a single point in the sixth because they knew their opposition couldn't blank the seventh. So they were going to have last rock guaranteed in the eighth. So you force her to blank here, you know, that same situation could happen later in this game. You have to kill the red, though.
Because Sean, this one really, really hard. And everything goes.
That's fine. As long as the red goes.
We're on that express train to Blanksville, buddy.
Well,
maybe.
It looks like it. Here's the thing. I haven't seen this pop up early in the game yet. So the question now becomes, does Black take her blank? I mean, it is the even end that she's got the hammers in.
Yeah, I saw earlier in the week, Team Yamaguchi elected to take one in the second in a very similar situation.
Yeah, because do you want to use your blank this early? If only because it affects the game later on. Like your opposition knows you can't blank again.
It's one of those things, unintended consequences. This is one.
Yeah.
This is one of the scenarios I thought about when I first heard about the rules, and
you certainly wouldn't do this early in the game. But I think I didn't see it. I heard, maybe it was one of your games, Dave, that late in a game somebody gave up a steal of one because their choice was either you blank and then you lose the hammer anyway. If you score one, you lose the hammer, but they were going to be tied up without coming home. So they elected to give up a steal of one so that they could at least keep the hammer. That's not likely to happen in the second end, but that's the kind of thing that comes into play when you've used your blank early.
And we're trading hits here. And we'll see if the blank comes into play. With that broom, I think it is. Well, she could be drawn with that ice too, though.
Oh, no, she's playing the hit. I'm just not sure whether... I don't know Christina well enough to know if she's got such a pronounced set that she needs broom in the middle of the rock. Maybe she does.
So final stone of the second end. And the blank is in the books. Team Black will have hammer in the third when we come back to Martensville after this. You're watching Curling Stadium.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
And welcome back to Martensville. It is 2-1 in favor of Team Laws. Black has the hammer after blanking the second end. You're watching the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open. This is the semifinals of the women's bracket. The winner of this will go to the finals tomorrow. That game will be shown on the Rock Channel.
The center guard to start the end does not bite the line, which, could be a factor if Black gets a chance to play the chase. Now the come around's got to be made first, but if you get to play the chase, last end we saw she had to take a little bit more ice and left the shooter out in the open. If she wants to this time, she could tight ice it a little bit, and if you rub that guard because it's not on the center line, it's now a legal play. And if you play it from the intern side, depending on how far buried this gets, it might not even be deep enough. Yeah, I think you could ignore that altogether and just go around your corner.
That's what she's going to do. So here's Carly Everest. I want to give a shout out to all the timers and the volunteers here who have worked all weekend. The most thankless job in all of curling is being a timer. Well, I thank you. You commit to sitting behind the glass and not even really being able to enjoy the game. It's tough. You ever done, Sean?
Timing, no. I've been a sheet observer. I've done little bits of officiating here and there, but I've stayed away from the time clocks more often than not. The timers are actually fortunate here. Lots of times you're out on the ice, and sitting still on the ice for 2.5 to 3 hours is the coldest job you're going to get.
Oh, on ice supervisor, you're just praying for somebody to ask for a measure.
Well, you're talking about the head umpire, but they can at least move around the observers. We do it
Just
at
sit
provincials here where they mark the score, but you usually have one per sheet, so at least you get walked down to the other end after every end. For the timekeepers, they're tied to a chair in front of a monitor for 3 hours, and it's cold. As a player, you don't like when I started broadcasting and we were out at ice level. That was the first time that I really got a true idea of just how cold it is out there, because as a player, you're moving around. You don't really notice the cold. You're moving around enough to stay fairly warm. Even the skips, even the skips wearing winter coats as they are out there today, it's still not nearly as bad as if you're tied to a chair for 3 hours.
Yeah, at the first event that I officiated, I had Under Armour, about 4 layers on, and I was still frozen. So to all the volunteers that make curling work, we salute you.
All the various heated attire does make it a little bit easier now.
Yeah, that's true. You have all that stuff, and you see people with little vests that are heated for sure.
Vests, socks, gloves. I haven't seen, like, I know they make the pants. I don't think anybody worries about that for an event like this, but if you can keep the torso warm, you're usually torso and the hands. The feet, a good pair of boots will keep them warm.
Yep, nice shot here. Yeah, that's one thing I noticed with the rise of the custom curling shoes. Yes, you might get the right shoe that's properly balanced for your delivery and such. And obviously, not throwing any shade at any of those folks that do that, but some of the curling shoes have more insulation, which helps with that issue.
Yeah, you can add a pair of thermal insoles to those, though.
Oh, for sure.
I've tried both. I still have a tuck delivery, so that's one of the issues. Is a lot of the curling shoes that are out there aren't really designed to bend like that. They're more designed for the
for people who throw the normal way.
Well, the wrong way. Yeah, sure, okay.
You know I had to do that.
Curling Canada used to, in their instructional clinics, used to try to convert people to flat foot, or they'll call it balanced delivery. And then, things like Pat Ryan and Kerry Burtnick and all those things, and Jeff Stoughton and all those things happened. And they said, well, maybe we'll allow toe deliveries to just stick around.
They're going to rip this corner guard, and not looking good for a multiple score for Team Black right now.
Well, there's still a freeze available on the back one. And then you can use that stone in the 12-foot for protection as well. But for Laws, it made all kinds of sense to peel that corner guard. Again, that Black can't blank here, so she was never going to just walk up there and hit the yellow ones. Oh, I don't know if this is getting by. It's curling earlier than they would have liked. She's holding it.
Yeah, not curling it like it's her life depended on it. It is by, and settles just at the tee line. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but they'd have been better off all the way down to it. There's no reason for Laws not to take a run at the run back here. Again, she hits this right. She could lose the yellow and the red, maybe lose the shooter. The more rocks that go away, it doesn't hurt Laws right now. It just means that Black could be in a position where she has to get forced because she can't blank this end. Normally, when you're trying for a force, you got to try to keep your rocks around. Laws doesn't have to do that right now.
Makes it, clears it out, loses the one in the back. Doesn't mind that one little bit.
Took them out of a lineup and gets rid of the stone she could really freeze to.
Well, Connor found a quarter or so.
They were probably a little bit worried she was jamming the back one, but it got just past the nose enough to... Clipping that back one actually probably helps them. definitely
Gonna clip
rolling
this.
too
They're
far.
gonna roll wide the heck open now.
So you're going to hit and roll to the outside here, and Christina Black probably has to draw around that stone at the top of the 12-foot on her next one. Then you have to make a decision. How deep do we want to go? Like if she's got good line, do you stop just biting the top 4? Do you go to the T line knowing that, well, if it's perfect on the T line, Kaitlyn could freeze the inside corner, and then you're in danger of giving up a steal. Certainly, if you're behind the T line, there's a chance she draws. If you're too high up in the rings, it's a yellow stone to run back.
They make the hit and stick. They sit 1, 2, 3, and Black's just going to draw underneath that.
Yeah, no, she has to, because she can't. I mean, you'd have to make a double here to even get back to a chance to blank. If you're going to get forced, that's the old adage. If you're going to get forced, you may as well get forced to 2. But this is a tough one. You'd love to be top 4-foot here, so that then no freeze is any good. But it's a yellow one in the 12-foot coming back. If you're top 4-foot, it's only a 4-foot run back. If you're T-line, does Kaitlyn Laws play the corner freeze on the inside? And she might, which, then you're trying to draw to what's left of the button just to score.
So Black her first at 2.
Definitely looks like it's got more room than the earlier draw attempt.
Yeah, this has to curl a long, long way. It's a long way to Tipperary. It's a long, long way to go. Not getting there.
Yeah, left her enough. I think she can go after it directly. She's still looking at the run. Nothing wrong with that. There's still not a lot of room between them.
I think I'd probably go it directly. Just because there's, there's 2 jams to bring in. You're bringing in the other jam, which I feel is a little...
Jam at the back probably doesn't hurt her because she'll be sitting 2. Part of what probably plays into this, and I can't say that for sure, but she was already at the backboards prepared to play this run back. Mentally she was expecting that to be buried, and she was going to play the run back. So the run back's still there. You can actually make it a little bit better if you hit this just a shade low. So just a shade on the center line side. When it comes back, you hit the red, and the yellow might actually roll underneath your shooter. You can make the draw for 1 a little tougher.
All right, so Kaitlyn Laws, final stone of the third end. Looking to hit just a skosh low. Working the curl. This is not good.
No. I honestly, when she put the broom down, I thought she was throwing the other turn.
That is an unforced error of all unforced errors, Sean. So a draw to the 4-foot, 4-2 for Christina Black. And she has to be thanking her lucky stars to have that. Final stone of the third. Looking to get her deuce to tie the game. Just needs a 4-foot. Everest and Powers will walk it down. That sells in nicely. Put 2 on the board. We're all tied up after 3. We'll be back to Martensville after this. You're watching the Grand Slam on Curling Stadium.
Hey Mark, you ready for this game tonight?
Yeah, I'm excited, man. Cupsy, what are you doing over there?
Don't worry, boys. Was just on AztecSafety.com, took a fire extinguisher safety course. Paul, I'm putting out the fires from now on. Woo!
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. Therockshop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Who knew after 20 years in real estate I'd have to make silly videos for Instagram and come out behind a tree?
Stu, we need to do this stuff.
Why can't I just door knock into open houses like I did in the old days?
That doesn't work anymore.
Okay, so it's because I'm sitting here behind a tree. Come use us for real estate.
And welcome back to Martensville. 4th end action. We're all tied up at 2. Laws has the hammer in end number 4, throwing the yellow stones in this semifinals of the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2. Brought to you live on Curling Stadium. Taking a look at some of our other games right now, it is Rantsville with a 4-0 lead over Yamaguchi. That's our other featured game. You can join Jimmer on that. And that's all the updates we have right now without looking at the shed.
Well, we got that available.
Which Connor is doing. I see a tied up score adjacent.
The other women's game is 1-1. It's DuPont and Reese Hansen.
Ooh. And that's 7-0 on sheet 1. There you go. There's a good look at the scores. 7-0 over there on sheet 1. Yamaguchi trailing Rantsville. And it's 2-1 on the adjacent sheet. Between Zhu and Brunner. The folks updating the scores must be completely enraptured in Martensville right now. And they should be watching this game because it's pretty good right now. I mean, we're all knotted up. Both teams, you can make an argument that both teams could be winning by a good deal, though.
Well, you know, with a game that's tied at this point, I mean, this sounds cliche, but it's the even end, 4th end. You know, there's a nice shot there. Pretty good chance this is a pivotal end. You know, with it doesn't help for Christina Black that she can't blank another end. So if Laws could pick up a deuce here, like Black pretty much has to use the hammer anytime she gets it, whether she's got a chance for 2 or not. And that's the one thing about 8 end games. You know, there's the old cliche saying, it gets late early. We don't see a lot of 10 end games anymore, but you'll see them coming up next month through the Brier Playdowns. You saw a few in the Olympic trials, obviously. You'll see it again in the Playdown through all the provincials at the various areas around the country. I think a couple of them actually have already run their provincials, but a lot of them coming up between Christmas and New Year's, and then the first week in January as well, and towards the Scotties and the Brier and the World Championships, the Olympics. We're gonna have to get back into the habit of watching 10 end games. Do
we get paid more?
We're not paid for any of those. You'll need a taller coffee cup and maybe a little extra popcorn.
Yeah, popcorn's cheap. The important thing is getting the type of salt that the movie theaters use. It's called Flavacol.
I have it.
Doesn't shock me, actually, Sean. That doesn't surprise me a little bit, actually.
This double looks easier if she gets the outside one first to get the second one over the top of the yellow. I think what they're talking about now is just play the hit and roll, because you got to hit this first one fairly thick to make sure you don't lose your own at the back of the forefoot.
So the stone for Peterman being swept every inch of the way. Just kind of stick it right there. Probably not the worst thing that could have happened.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Like, it was critical not to lose your own stone at the back of the forefoot. You're sitting 2 right now. Would have loved to have gotten onto the edge of that red stone, but the most important thing was not to disturb their own at the back.
Agreed. First from Jill Brothers. Gotta get the hit. Does she get enough roll? That's pretty good. But is there enough there for the double? I think there might be.
There might be. It's risky. I think you're playing the guard towards the one on the other side. You'd love to stick it. If you stick it, 2 is still in play. If you just make contact with it and roll it out, we might have no more blanks left. Maybe both teams have used their blanks.
Well, here's Negavan, winter coat, toque and all. This is thin. They caught it and stuck it. Great shot, Selena Negavan. I thought this was a little thin, Sean.
Well, I mean, it was thin to do it anyway. I thought she might have been rolling out off this, but dead sticks, it actually came up a little bit at the end. I thought most of the way down she was thinner than that.
Yeah, ultimately a great shot there. The power of the took.
Now you hit this one on the nose, it's going to leave a crosshouse double, which will leave another double.
Well, you're not hitting on the nose.
Still leaves the double, which will leave another double, which will leave a blank. And then we won't have to worry about any more of those for the rest of this game.
And the green grass grows all around and around, and the green grass grows all around.
So they're actually talking about not making a double. You just hit and roll over to the corner. You got to be careful with this. I mean, I like the call because you don't want to necessarily be committed to the blank, but if you roll right to the face of the red, it's never going to help you. You've got to stay on the corner. At the same time, you have to overlap them. So, this is a very precise roll that you're playing here.
So from Negavan, on and off. Little bit of curl here at the end. You hit it. Where do you roll? All right, Shawnee, good or bad?
Probably bad. I think black hits the yellow. Tempting to hit it right on the nose. You'd keep 2 reds in the rings. You'd lose both yellows. She can even hit it just a sliver to the center line side. I don't know if she can roll enough that she's not going to leave a fairly simple double back, but the key is kill the 2 yellows. Boy, that's a lot of ice. I wonder if she's trying to take it out clean. That's risky because you try to remove that yellow clean without taking the second one. That means there's a chance you're rolling big. You roll big, well, there's another double opportunity.
So Christina Black with her first of 2 here in the 4th. Powers trying to walk it over. They're going to clip it. Where does the roll go? Pretty good.
Yeah, she doesn't have to play the hit on that. I wouldn't play the hit on that. Play the tap on the other one. Break the existing freeze. Kaitlyn's thinking we hit this, they hit it again, it's going to be up high enough to play the double, and that could work too. She's looking at the exchange of stones here.
So Kaitlyn Laws, with her first of the 4th, settles in. Peterman and McCush. Just a heavy clean. Slight curl. Now a little harder. Get it, roll over and under. Does it hang on the back? No.
Yeah, she's got, such a big set on her out turn. It hurt her last end. It's hurt her again here.
So by set, you mean just kind of putting it out on the release, eh?
Yeah, it's beyond simply just a positive release. There's a backwards motion, and it's really hard to throw that with any kind of consistency. They talked about this as if they were going to play a straight guard. That makes no sense. Come into the rings here.
Yeah, why wouldn't you lie? Why wouldn't you lie to?
Come right to the top of the 4-foot. Like, I don't think she's ever trying the slash blank. That's awfully risky. You could come right down to your own for that matter. Actually, you come right down to your own. There's never a chance that red is leaving. She's still got to outdraw it.
Black, final stone of the 4th.
Line's going to be fine. Just get it in.
It comes in. So it's going to be a draw the 4-foot for 1. Just needs full 4 for the single. This is just a touch heavy. And it's going to be a steal 1, I think.
Yeah, I don't, but we might see a measurement. Yeah, it's yellow.
Nope, they do say it's 1 yellow. Okay, fair enough. So Law scores 1. Black has the hammer after the break when we come back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Hey Ben, what's the Aztec Safety online e-learning website again?
Yeah, that would be aztecsafety.com.
Fire extinguisher and firefighting, we'll send that one to Paul.
Ah, now here's a course I should probably take. Conflict resolution.
Power line safety. Yeah, I thought it might help me with my line calls. Did you know this Aztec website has over 100 safety courses?
Jeez. Aztec Safety online course. Ground disturbance. Could have used that a few seconds ago.
And welcome. It's the 4th end break. Black trails by 1. They're going to have the hammer when we come back from the semifinals here on Curling Stadium.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
I know. And welcome back to the Martensville Curling Club. It's the semifinals of the Grand Slam of Curling Canadian Open Tier 2, brought to you live in living color on Curling Stadium. Happy to have you here with us. My name's Dave Schmel. I'm joined by Sean Joyce, and Connor Sims is managing the production duties, making all the magic happen. It's been a nip and tuck game, back and forth, plenty of good shots and also plenty of errors by both teams, but leaves Team Laws up by 1. Black has the hammer here in end number 5.
And the Laws team still has that slight advantage, if you want to call it that, in that Christina Black has already used her blank end. So, you know, in a traditional game, you'd get into this fifth end, and a lot of teams, so aware of odd end versus even end, they'd be trying to keep the blank alive here. You probably wouldn't even throw that corner guard. You'd come around the middle. Well, she knows as the end starts, she can't blank, so she's got to play offense here in the fifth end. It's not the way they'd probably normally approach a fifth end in a close game.
This is one of these rule changes that exists in the slams, and it's fun to watch it play out and see how the teams adapt to it.
I honestly would go one step further with it. I think the game has evolved to the point, and it's not just the game, it's not just the play of the game, the equipment, like the lively striking bends. The rocks are so good that they can do so much with the brooms. Personally, I feel we're at the point where if you blank the end, you should lose the hammer. Force the team with last rock to play offense. You know, right now, too many times I'll tell you what, you've never heard the team without last rock say, we need to play this hit to keep the blank alive. It's always the team with last rock that is trying to keep the blank alive, and that shouldn't be. They've got the offensive advantage. The rocks, the broom, the ice, they all give you the ability to make all the shots. So make them play some offense.
This one just clears the rings, and there you hear Sean Joyce, Renaissance man.
Well, it's worked in doubles. I mean, that was the rule from day one in doubles, but that's the thing. That doubles format is all out offense. It goes a little beyond because it's not just a free guard zone there. You can't remove anything for the first 5 stones. So, you know, that might be a little too extreme for 4-player curling with 8 rocks, but I do like the idea that if you blank the end, you lose the hammer, and make the team with last rock push the offense.
Yeah, definitely a lot of sense to be made out of that. This one over curling.
It's not terrible though, because now if she plays the run back, the red goes. Chance to get around the stagger first though and set something up for the black team.
Tough to call a third rock of an end crucial, but I'd say this is crucial.
Well, you say that almost slightly tongue-in-cheek, but it's really not. I mean, that in a lot of ends now, that is the most critical stone of the end, because, you know, your first 5, in a lot of cases, not so much in this case, but in a lot of cases, they're almost scripted. That 6th shot is the first, in a lot of ends, is the first time you have a chance to actually make a decision. In a lot of cases, the first 5 stones are kind of predetermined. Now, they weren't exactly made perfect here, so it changed a little bit, but that 6th stone of the end is often pivotal as to how the rest of the end is going to get played. Made a pretty good one here. You can chase it, you can get it out, but you're going to have to roll to the corner.
So they're going to come down and have a chat.
Yeah, the problem with making the play on the red stone in the rings, you have to roll away, and they get a chance to make one ever so slightly better. Like, it's pretty good where it is, but if you get it, 6 inches deeper and cover another quarter, it's hard to get it out at all. So they're going to look at playing the run back, get rid of that overlap at the top of the 12-foot, 8-foot.
So after the quick colloquy, stone's on the way. Runs it back. I don't think that helped too much.
Well, It might have if she could see enough of that yellow to run it onto the red, and she might be able to. Christina Black must think she can because she wants to move it. It's not an overly comfortable end even when she's sitting shot rock right now for Black, because the outturn side of the sheet, there's a port there, but with those rocks at the top of the 12-foot, I don't think you can make it into the rings on the outturn side. You could maybe throw an in-turn around your corner guards, but right now there's no advantage to doing that. Plan B, they're coming right around everything.
Gotta keep it moving. You gotta make that good.
I think she rubbed, and now there's a double.
Double there all day and all night.
I'm not positive she rubbed. I'd have to see the replay, but I think it did. Ask and ye shall receive, but take a look at this as it comes by that yellow. I think it rubs just enough to straighten it out, and then she gets a little... I still think it did. And then it gets a little spin at the end to cover a piece, but anything on the outside should double these two. Oh, a little too thin. Well, and talk about your bad luck, because it just pushed the other one in behind the guard.
Luck,
yeah, she could see 3/4 of that and barely made contact. You got to be careful with this freeze. She can't get at that red on the corner right now. You'd hate to line it up.
So Jill Brothers with her first of the fifth. You got the guard up.
Yeah, are you chasing around the corner with the in-turn? You might be.
Yeah, I think you have to, really, Shawnee.
You'd love to come at it with a little bit more than hack, because you'd like to roll in behind the guards, but you throw more than hack and you might not get the finish you need.
Yeah, you have a good chance of missing if you do that. So on the way from Negavan. They got contact. How much? Enough? No, not really. It's going to skid her onto the back. Had to curl just a skosh more.
I don't see that going.
That might go.
That can go, sure. That's probably the easiest one. In fact, it's almost going to pop out in the open, but that might be okay.
So going to drill off the center line and underneath the corner guard.
Little trouble with the landing gear.
Yeah, they got it down. Didn't have to do a go around. Definitely heavy.
Yeah, it could have contributed to this. Now, she's got an extension in her release anyway, but anytime, and I mean, we've all been there. Everybody knows you have a little wobble on the way out. You know you lost some weight. You just mechanically, you just know it. You lost some weight. It's hard to know how much. And she might have added just a little bit when she put that extension on and just added a little too much.
Yeah, you guess.
Yeah, it is. It's a guess because you don't know how much weight you lost. You just know you've lost some. All I see for Laws is the run on the yellow or just off the nose on that red guard on the center line side and just try to pick the one off the top of the 8.
They call timeout. That's their first. Each team gets 2.
And the run on the yellow, it looks like it should clip the one at the top of the 8, but they're far enough apart that you don't know for sure if it drags or not. My tendency would be to think no, and that means you could miss the one in the 4-foot.
So here comes the coach. Who is that coaching?
Brent Glatt.
That's what I thought. So Brent Glatt, the coach.
Jocelyn's husband. So he was probably
Makes
going to
sense.
be watching anyway. Could play the wide intern and try to freeze that red for now, too. If you get the freeze to the red one, I'm not sure that the come around on the corner guard would even be second shot anymore. Yeah, I don't mind this. The come around that they just tried on the corner guard, and admittedly they're deep, but I mean, if you make this corner freeze, that draw to the corner doesn't get second shot. If you lock this freeze on the corner, you got a much better way to get that red out.
So Christina Laws sails in. Brett Glant goes back to the comfort of the lounge.
A lot of room. Is she trying to come right around everything? Nope. Yep.
You're coming around the outside. Can she bury it? Not really.
Well, she's got a piece. I mean, there's enough that all Black can do is hit and roll to the outside, and that's going to leave Laws a chance to hit and roll under. There's no way she's hitting that, moving it out of the 4-foot and not rolling to the outside.
Obviously, has to address it because it's shot rock.
Yeah, well, there's an argument to be made here for rolling all the way out. Like, don't leave her the roll back underneath. If she makes the same shot with her next one, then you try to tap it through for 2. But don't stay there now.
That's fair. So here's Black with her first and 2 in the 5th. Should have this. She's got it. Where does it roll to? It's a pretty good spot to roll to.
Yep, that's fine.
So now you got to make this one nice. Do you think she can get all the way under, Sean?
Well, the way that one was finishing, if she's back 4-foot, just to the back of the ends in Flynn, I think she can.
And there's
But
no
yeah.
danger in doing that now.
Well, you have to be shot rock. That's the only thing. Like you try to throw it to the back 4, you slide to the back 8. You just show her the path to get her 2.
So here's Laws with her final stone of the 5th.
Sorry, Dave. Again, if you end up corner frozen to the top one, she's got a tough shot to score 2. You'd hate to make it easier. Does that not look like a lot more room?
It does. But maybe it bounces off the wall and comes down the mini golf hill. Make sure you don't wreck on the windmill. Oh, it's short.
Just didn't have the weight. It's not horrible. You can't hit it. You won't be shot rock. And to make the port towards the corner, you're going away from the center line. You still have to hold enough 8-foot to count 2. This is not easy. That stone at the back, the red stone at the back, that was the draw of Jill Brothers. Now, it was heavy, but look at the line that it had coming in. Like, it's debatable whether that stone ever had enough of the 8-foot to outcount that yellow stone that's now sitting full 8 on the other side.
So we'll find out shortly, but here's Christina Black. She sits 1. She's trying to throw this. Draw across the center on the end turn. Final stone of the 5th. On this to curl.
Yeah, it's got to get off the guard. The
It's
center
got
guard.
a long way to go. It's on the guard, and that's going to be all she wrote. It's a single point for Black. All tied up. Laws has the hammer in 6 when we come back to Martensville. You're watching the Grand Slam of Curling on Curling Stadium.
Brett, come on, man. I know Aztec's #1 for online safety training, but we really should be out here practicing.
I know, guys. I'll be right there. Just let me finish this course on gas detection. Wait. Do you smell that?
The 2025-2026 Grand Slam of Curling schedule is out, with big events happening all over Canada, like the Masters heading to London in September, the Tour Challenge from Nisku this October, the Canadian Open from Saskatchewan in December, and the Players' Championship from Steinbach coming in January. Early bird weekend and full event passes on sale now at gsoctickets.com. Let's rock!
Welcome back to Martensville. It's a 6th end of action here at the Canadian Open Tier 2 on Curling Stadium. All knotted up at 3. Lawless has a hammer in 6th. Unable to blank, having already utilized it. We're so happy that you've joined us all weekend here on Curling Stadium. If you haven't subscribed to Curling Zone on YouTube, please do. We'd really appreciate it. I'm Dave Schmel, joined by Sean Joyce and Connor Sims. We are been thrilled to bring you the action all weekend long. And we are talking to the break here about how these last 3 ends might go, Sean.
Yeah, and just to clarify what you said, it's not Laws that can't blank, it's Black.
Oh, that's right.
So we expect, and we saw it already a couple times in the men's play, the Laws team will try to score here, even if they're stuck with 1, because they know Black can't blank the 7th. So you know you're going to have – there's a lot of times when they start playing that odd and even ends, there's the presumption that, if we have hammer in the even ends, we're going to have 2 hammers to 1. She can guarantee it. She's either got 2 hammers left or she's stealing the 7th end. Either way, she's good. So it puts them in a bit more of a driver's seat here. They can play a little bit aggressively in this sixth end, knowing that, well, if we get forced to 1, we've got the hammer coming back in 8th, or we're going to steal in 7.
The sixth end, so important in many curling matches, even more so right now.
Yeah.
So you see Negavan suggesting the hit and roll open. For Kristen McCush.
So here comes the 5th stone of the end, and then probably the peel on the center guard. Now, she may not try to lose it. She might just try to roll to the corner. But it's a pretty much a risk-free end if you do that. Marley Powers is going to play the double.
On the way from Powers.
Make the double and stay open actually is not a bad result, because then you probably force them.
Well, that was the important first part of that sentence there, buddy.
Well, I mean, where I was going with that is if you stay open, they probably play the one in the rings and leave the guard. Inadvertently, you still did the same thing. Like, they're going to leave the guard. The danger is, though, that they're going to bury a second one around it, and you've got some work to do. But Christina Black needs that center guard to stay there as long as possible. She kind of needs the threat of a possible steal, even if she just ends up playing for the force.
They have to carry this one, need some weight. That's probably okay.
Yeah, that's not bad.
So you're mentioning about wanting the guard to stay there as long as possible.
Well, she's trying to hit it on the nose. Like, she's still trying to keep the guard, bring it straight back. You sure can't afford to roll off center.
All right, pretty good.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, you would have loved to touch both yellows or stick that red, leave it somewhere in the rings. All that does is, it means you're right back to the same spot for this shot, and there's a chance to make this one a little bit better. Where are we at? Last of the second stones.
So here's Peterman.
Looks to me like less weight than the last one. It is. It's way less. It's a guard.
Oi.
Well, here comes the freeze and then the double peel. And then it might be a cheap force.
Gets around the guard, no problem. Looks a little bit light, though.
I don't think so.
Okay, you were right. Don't get used to it.
I think you have to peel the guards. Now you can try to leave one of them on the corner. So probably the easiest one to leave is your shooter. You hit about 3/4. The 2 rocks that are there will leave and the shooter will roll over.
Yeah, the guards have to go for sure.
Yeah. But I'm not sure what black does next. Like, there's really no advantage to her to hitting that. She might just guard it again.
So hard on the brush on negative and stone.
Oh, they overrolled it.
They rolled a lot.
Yeah, I don't think they thought it was going that far with as much as she was hitting. This just makes the rest of the end easier for Laws.
How so?
Well, she thinks she's forcing her to blank. Again, the situation says she shouldn't blank. And now everything's going to be open in the house. There's no center guards to worry about. Throw the center guard. You could play this with your last one. You hit it right on the beak, and there's a chance. See, if you do that with your last stone, there's a chance you're stealing. Right now, Kaitlyn Laws is going to exchange position with those stones. She'll try to hit it on the nose, stay in front of the red. If you're guarding that now, you're guarding a stone that's only half in the 4-foot.
So the second from Negavan.
This is where they wish they had kept that corner guard the last time, because then they wouldn't have to hit this on the nose. They could hit and roll towards cover.
Made as called. Wow, we just went up about 4 octaves in the next sheet.
Yeah, you can continue to try to exchange hits here, but you hit this one on the nose again. If you leave the yellow in the rings, Laws is going to draw to sit 2. We're late enough in the end, she'll try to hold her deuce. Plenty of scoring area if you leave that yellow in there. So she might be trying to blast everything. Laws will try to come around that corner guard, but if it doesn't work out, she still knows she can score here.
So first a 2 for Laws.
Well, it's black, but...
you're right.
Throwing the reds. Wearing the black and blue jackets.
Throwing a red stone.
I already said that.
Yep.
Yeah, there's no reason not to try to tuck around that yellow, but... Oh, this call looks like she wants to make sure she's got a shot for the blank, which would be failure to understand the rule. Like you have a guaranteed force in 7. You should not be thinking about blanking this end. You blank this end, you get forced in 7. Black has the advantage coming home. And you're guaranteed forced in 7 if you blank this end.
Correct. This is where the strategery comes in.
Yeah, I think you come around and I mean, worst case scenario, you're going to have a shot for 1 anyway, but your only shot for 2 is to come around that corner guard. If you're playing this in the open, I think it's because you want an open shot for the blank.
So interesting wrinkle here in end number 6. Law is drawing to the open side. Sprinting down to the other end is black. I think she knows.
Yeah, well, she's just happy to have an open shot. I mean, doesn't even matter, honestly, if she rolls out here.
Hits and sticks. Final still not coming. We're coming down to talk about it.
Somebody said something?
Somebody said something.
Because she put the broom down definitely to play for the blank because she's got a set on that out turn anyway. But there's no reason to blank this end. None. It's a disadvantage to blank this end because then you're forced in 7. I think they're just realizing it now. Black can't blank 7. You take one here, you're guaranteed to either have the hammer or at least a 2-point lead coming home. Because the only way Black's got the hammer is if she lets you steal 7.
You think Brent Gallant used some mental telepathy there? Yeah, they're talking about it now.
Yeah. The way they're nodding their heads coming back, though, I'm not sure they didn't stick with the same call. Yeah, this is just wrong. That there's no way to sugarcoat it. Oh, she's tightening up the ice, so maybe she is playing for the nose hit. Well, that's still not a lot of ice. Depends on the weight she throws, I guess. She does have a very pronounced set on her out turn, but if she's throwing this quiet, could still be looking for the nose hit. That looks like a blank
6. And the blank is in the books. Bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see how it plays out. We'll be back after this.
Welcome to the RockShop.net, the official store for the Grand Slam of curling. Whether you're looking for the best hats, stylish clothing, fun toys, or unique accessories, the Rock Shop has it all. Shop online anytime at therockshop.net for exclusive Grand Slam of curling gear, or come see us in person at your next event. TheRockShop.net, where fans find their favorite curling gear.
Developed over a decade in collaboration with the finest ice makers this side of the Atlantic, the Pebblehead PB5 is nothing short of a triumph of sophistication and craftsmanship. Weighing less than half its lumbering copper predecessors, yet boasting tenfold their durability, the PB5 delivers perfect, consistent ice, time after time. The PB5 by Pebbleheads.com, the apex of ice-making ingenuity for the roaring game of curling.
They all went down here.
Welcome back to Martensville. 7th end of action. Kaitlyn Laws has a hammer in a tied-up affair after, well, what we have been discussing is a questionable decision to blank.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, they even realized it because they came down and talked about it, but they stuck with what probably feels more comfortable. It's what you do in a traditional game. But let's carry on with that. In a traditional game, and you hear us talk about this all the time, we're tied up playing 7. So you're Christina Black. You don't have last rock in this end. You want to see somebody score. You want to see somebody score 1. If you steal 1, you've got the momentum coming home. If you force 1, you've got last rock coming home. So what happens on the other side of that? Well, on the other side of that, you'd love to see a blank. Except here, you can't. You're now no longer allowed to blank. So you're kind of committed because of what you just did. You're going to have to try to score at least 2 here. And Black knows that too. She knows you can't blank. So the other thing I talk about when we get into these 7th ends, you see these teams trying so hard to force. Well, sometimes they'll force you to score 3. She doesn't have to push that hard because she knows the force is already in play. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. But yeah, that was a questionable decision, I think, is being kind. You got to be aware of the format you're playing. I realize it's new to a lot of these players. It's new to us. But it's math. You had 2 hammers to 1. If you use it, you didn't use it.
Well, I did pretty good at math until we got to calculus. Then I was done. That being said, pretty good draw under cover here. Just a skosh behind the tee line, but that's not a problem. Black's going to play the other way. Definitely room to put a second stone there.
Yeah, there is. I don't know how many stones around the middle you're going to want to ignore. Plus, you don't want to necessarily group your own stones. Black actually might have a decision to make here because you get something good around the middle. This is the 5th stone. We talked about it last end, how the 6th stone kind of determines the path of a lot of these ends. Black's in the situation where, this is an unusual situation dictated by the rules. She actually could start opening things up here and force Laws into a blank situation. And with it being a blank situation, Laws is going to have to decide who scores one. She could elect to give up the steal, and I think you saw that in one of the men's games earlier this week. You gave up the steal to keep last rock. That's the only way she can keep last rock now. If she scores 1 in the last end, the only way she could be down coming home is to give up 2. She'd still have last rock. Now, this is a different situation. If she gets her 2 here, it works. She's still got to defend the 8th, but
that's a very well thrown freeze.
And it does dictate the path of this end because she's got to follow it. Even if you try to break it up, it's not a bad idea. You got to get it just across the face and tap it back probably a foot.
So Powers.
The problem, if you throw the weight to try to tap it, you might not get the line you need to get across the face.
Yeah, kind of like this.
Yeah, she's got the right weight, but didn't come close to the line.
It's going to go back to the back 12.
Yeah, you get a sliver across the face. That's perfect weight. You tap it back about 2 feet. You lose about 4 feet. Well, you lose about 2 feet every time you tap. So with 2 rocks there, you take 4 feet off that. You tap it to the back 4, and you'd line up the red-yellow to your advantage. But when she threw the extra weight, just didn't get the line.
Really the kind of shot we haven't seen too much this game. So Peterman.
Yeah, this is a lot less ice trying a similar type shot.
With a little bit more weight. Past the guard, no problem. Bang, bang. And you lie 3. Well executed right there. Connor brought up the replay while dying with the flu.
Well, for black, I mean, you could try it again. Try to tap the second yellow through and stay on top of the first one. But same thing we saw last end as these, you play these shots, and as it creeps further up in the house, it still leaves lots of room to draw for the second point. She could try the triple here too. I mean, it's thin on the first one.
That may be the call.
Doesn't look like it with that weight. I think she's trying to
No,
get
it's
to the
not.
nose.
I mean, I said it may be.
Ooh, big set. Got to get to the nose. You can't bounce open on this. It's going. It's trying. Still needed to curl. They were sweeping straight at the end. That still needed to curl.
Ooh. Chance to make this in life 4. So forget about the force to 1. You might score a boatload here.
Yeah, Black's probably going to be committed after this one that she's going to have to try to get something into a steal position, which, I mean, she could still do. All the play, for the most part, still around the middle. But it's kind of a go for it all or go home type of thing. You're already looking like there might be no middle ground. You're either stealing or you're losing.
So stone from negative end, off and on, really, really close. Looks pretty good. Come up just a hair.
Outside.
That's going to be just fine.
I think there's room to draw.
Okay, you're going to help me out, buddy, because I'm the guy who always thinks there's room to draw.
Outturn draw to almost corner freeze the stone in the 4-foot. Like you basically, you're just trying to dead bury on the long guard.
Okay, I'll buy that. Yeah.
And that is a long guard. You can overbury on that. You could definitely corner freeze that yellow. The run back's a good shot if you make it. And stick it.
And if my aunt was my uncle, yada, yada, yada.
Everest looking at the nose hit on the yellow. If you could make the double on the back one, you'd leave your shooter in a pretty good spot. I mean, you're still in some trouble.
But it helps.
Yeah, it helps. And the shooter would be in a great spot.
I'm with you. The draw is there. That red raise is there too.
Oh wow!
I don't like raising it to there though.
Yeah, I'm not playing it as a draw weight tap. If you're looking at the raise, you're playing the run back. If you want to draw into the 4-foot, why wouldn't you simply straight draw? Why add another variable in and play a tap? That doesn't make sense. And there's too many places you could tap it that aren't good. You tap it behind the yellow in the 8-foot, which is kind of what they were looking at. Well, that's a pretty short run on a rock that's wide open. Yeah, I'm not seeing how she thinks this is easier than the draw. She didn't even look at the draw.
Yeah, I am not sold either, buddy. But she could prove us wrong.
I still think, even with a draw tap, you're almost better off to go straight back. Try to put it corner frozen still on that shot stone.
Jill Brothers with her second here in the 7th.
Can't over curl this. No, she's pretty good.
Get a little wick.
Probably a little too much weight, but it's not bad. Like, she left as much separation between the yellow-red run as she could.
You can chase that on the intern side, can't you?
You could peel the guard. That's what they're looking at. I mean, you've got enough yellows hanging around. Right now, you just need one shot at that rock. The run is still there. And I mean, if you stick the run, even if you jam it on the back one, it's probably for 2. You peel the guard. What does black do? I guess the outturn freeze to the yellow is still there. You're freezing.
Both teams plenty of time. We're in 5 minutes each. So here's negative end. her last of the 7th. On the straight peel, and away it goes. So they try to throw a better guard, Shawnee?
No, she's again. There's too many yellows against her right now. So she's trying to bring another one in. Corner freeze the yellows. This is kind of what I'm seeing too. You don't have a lot of room for error, and that's just because there's 4 yellows around. You can't bounce off because you leave a double. You can't be light because now there's a port to get to shot stone. This is, the rest of the end hasn't gone your way. You're in some trouble, and it just means there's not a whole lot of margin for error here. This pretty much has to be locked right on the corner.
First to 2 from Black.
Didn't get the line she needed. That's going to leave a pretty easy double. Question is, where is your shooter going to end up? She hits the one right behind the broom first, comes a little across the top of the second one. She can spin up, and I don't know what Christina Black's going to have. She stays right. Laws. Yeah, sorry, Dave. If she stays right there, she's got a pocket to freeze into. But there's a way to spin this up, and she's not going to have much. Yeah.
Ooh, and they sit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
It's that same corner freeze is all she's got left, I think. Pretty good weight on the last one. She just didn't get the line, so we'll see if they found the right spot for the broom this time. They're sweeping for curl. That's not a good sign.
Not quite on line there, and that's going to leave a shot for a lot.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they make her throw it. They might not. No, they're going to make her throw it. Okay. Well, I mean, things can go wrong. A rock can pick. You just don't know. She touches that red one. She wouldn't have to move it very far, and still probably 3.
So with 5 in her pocket, looking for 6.
This is one of those ones where you you're definitely not throwing heavy. If you're 6 feet short of the rings, you don't worry about it, but you need to make sure that it curls off that line. Line should be good.
Does look really, really good. And can it get there? Can it get there? Can it get there for 6?
I don't think so.
5 for sure. And that'll do it. That'll be enough. It'll be a win for Kaitlyn Laws by a score of 8-3 over Christina Black, and they're going to move to the finals. You'll be able to watch that final tomorrow on the Rock Channel. It's been such a pleasure for us to have all of you here with us on Curling Stadium all weekend long. We truly appreciate you watching. Please like and subscribe our channel. But for right now, for Sean Joyce and Connor Sims working through the flu, I'm Dave Schmel. Thank you so much. Have a pleasant evening.